All right, guys, welcome back to the post-game spread. I am your host, as always, Blake Helm. Today we had a really fun one. I had a former teammate of mine, a good friend of mine, Walt Patton on, one of the greatest athletes I've ever been around. I truly mean that. Walt was a standout at Buffalo Tri-City in basketball, baseball, and soccer, going on to play at Lincoln Land Community College, got drafted in the 13th round by the Minnesota Twins in 2004, went on to have a 2-year pro career before coming home, having some arm problems and coming home. Currently, he is heavily involved in the Shamrocks baseball organization here in town. They've got all different kinds of levels of travel baseball. Just a great guy, a great athlete. It was really fun to go back and hear his thoughts on how his career went, some things about baseball, the state of travel ball today, and it was fun for us to connect. So hope you guys enjoy this. Again, this is Walt Patton, good buddy of mine, former teammate. Before we get into it, a few words from our sponsors. So we appreciate you. We are also brought to you by The Office Sports Bar and Grill, located at 1919 West Isles Avenue. This is a really special place. I've been going there since probably 20 years, since I was in college. And there's just so much cool sports memorabilia, dating back through Springfield's history. All different high schools represented, pro guys, college guys. There's some great stuff on the walls. It's a great place to get together with friends, a great environment, inviting, warm, happy, lively. Great place for great conversation, great drinks, and great food. Please go see this place. Go patronize them. We really appreciate the support. The Office Sports Bar and Grill. We are also brought to you by Sitco Chiropractic. They can be reached at 217-525-2035 and sitcochiropractic.com. They offer chiropractic care, corrective exercises, lifestyle advice, nutritional counseling, spinal and postural screenings. They are located at 205 North Grand Avenue. Love the Sitco family. From the dad, Steven, to Kyle and Casey, I grew up with them. Their brother Tyler was a big-time baseball player at SHG and SCI. There's a reason they have over 70 ratings on Google, and they're all 5.0. These guys are great. I went to them a few years back for some back issues I was having. They'll fix you right up. Go see Sitco Chiropractic. We are also brought to you by Sheehan & Sheehan Lawyers, located at 1215 South 4th Street, Suite A. They can be contacted at 217-544-0701. I'm talking Pat Sr., Pat Jr., and Willie. They can be contacted for adoption needs, agricultural law, business and commercial law, estate planning, real estate planning, taxation, traffic and minor traffic offenses, personal injury, wrongful death suits. And I grew up with Willie playing baseball on the Southwest Braves. We were state champs. He played high school baseball and soccer at SHG. Pat Jr. was an accomplished baseball player at SHG, SCI, and finally the U of I. We really appreciate the Sheens here. Love this guy. Love this family. Great, great family. So go see these guys. Appreciate you. We are also brought to you by Primo Designs and that baseball family over there. They are located at 2417 North Grand Avenue. They can be reached at 217-523-6373. Since 1985, more than 5,000 businesses, schools, and healthcare providers have trusted Primo Designs to help them promote and build their brand. They're awesome with uniforms, tees, branded items. They have top quality, fast delivery, competitive prices, and like I already said, the Namovich name is an absolute baseball name in the community. Go support these guys. They've been doing uniforms since way back when I was in T-ball. Really have a lot of respect for them. I've done some projects with them and will continue to do so in the future. We appreciate you, Primo Designs. We are also brought to you by Body Cemetery, located at 2201 West White Oaks Drive, bodycemetery.com. More specifically, Chad Marshik, the owner, head trainer. This guy is just amazing on so many levels. He is capable of training anyone from a child to a pro athlete to just your normal everyday person to the elderly. And not only is he a trainer, but he is also adept with, physical therapy, nutrition. Everything is going to be customized to you and what you need. There's a movement analysis when you first come in to address any deficiencies you have. It's all customized. Chad is the most positive, happy guy I've ever been around. Body Symmetry will get you right. I would, put my faith in Chad and his trainers any day. So go to bodysymmetry.com, get set up. Chad, we appreciate you. Thank you. We are also brought to you by BOS, Bank of Springfield, and Jason Knadler. The Bank of Springfield has essentially a whole baseball team over there. I'm talking guys like Jason Knadler, Justin Knadler, Timmy Ballin Wallen, Eric Weaver, Ryan Murphy, Murph Mathiot, Frank Stefano, Greg Morantz. I trust every single one of these guys to handle my money and to steer me in the right direction financially. There are 3 locations across the greater Springfield area for your convenience. Bank boldly with BOS. We really appreciate you guys. We are also brought to you by Washco Strength and Speed, located at 3604 North Peoria Road, 217-899-3233. Of course, I'm talking about Jared Washco, the Springfield area firefighter, the former pitching standout at SHG and SCI. He is credentialed. He is a CPT, CSCS. Those are the highest credentials you can get in the strength and conditioning game. I think he is absolutely fantastic working with young athletes, probably the best in the area, working with baseball players. His results say it all. He's worked with high school guys, college guys, pro guys, and they keep coming back to him. They get bigger, they get faster, they get stronger, more explosive, better at their sport, less injury prone. He handles it all. He does arm care work. He does speed work. Go see Jared if you are a local athlete trying to get the most out of yourself. Invest in yourself. Go see Jared.
We're recording.
All right. Welcome back, guys. This is the post-game spread. I'm your host, Blake Helm. I'm sitting here with an old friend of mine, a legend, a local legend, Walt Patton. And for the sake of honesty, this is our second run at this. We just had to pack up. We were at the Shamrock hitting facility, and I did not press record for the first 20 or 30 minutes, and then someone came in to hit, so it was going to be too loud. So we have reconvened to the Patton household here, sitting here with my buddy Walt Patton. Before I let him talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about him and kind of how we put all this together. But again, post-game spread, I'm Blake Helm. We're back for another one. I'm really excited about this one. This is Walt is a 2003 Buffalo Tri-City grad, where he was a standout in baseball and basketball, next attending Lincoln Land Community College for 2 years, getting drafted in the 13th round by the Twins in 2004, played for the Rifles for a year, and went on to have a 2-year stint in pro ball before arm troubles kind of made him hang it up. How I know Walt, really cool. I can remember all the way back to like Little League, Fairview, Southwest, playing against Walt a little bit, but really getting acquainted with him later on in high school when you started hearing whispers about a guy out in Tri-City that was throwing fuego, throwing 90 in a time when not everyone was throwing 90. Now it's kind of a little more commonplace, but back then, if you were chucking 90, that was something serious. And I just heard about this guy that was, big arm. He had just tore his ACL, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, ACL, so you were coming back from it. So I remember playing a little bit of summer ball against you, and then we ended up becoming teammates at Lincoln Land, becoming good friends. I sat next to you on the bus. We did a lot of hitting together at Kolovics. You were my long toss buddy. Just a great guy, and one of the best athletes that I've ever known. We'll get into that a little bit more, but I talked to Blaine Cravens and Bull in preparation for this. Blaine Cravens being a 2003 Buffalo Tri-City grad. No one has seen your career more than Blaine. I'm talking from a child all the way through junior college baseball. So I thought it'd be great to bring Blaine on. Blaine was a Lincoln Land standout as well as a shortstop and a pitcher. Attended St. Joseph's D2 and was the GLVC Pitcher of the Year. Hell of an athlete, hell of a ball player. And the one summer, I wanted to say this, I know this is a weird thing, but the one summer when I played with Blaine for the Rifles, Blaine could have got MVP of that damn league. He was up at the top in batting average and absolutely shoved as a pitcher, and he never got, I felt like, the due he deserved as a baseball player. Moving on, Bull, Ron Riggle, my favorite all-time coach, a true players coach, longtime Lincoln Land AD, head baseball coach, also a standout pitcher at Springfield High School, Lincoln Land, and Coastal Carolina. All right, Walt, it's time for you to talk. What's up, buddy?
Not too much.
How you doing?
Great.
You ready for our part 2, I guess?
Yeah, let's do round 2.
Round 2. Tell me a little bit about what life is like now for Walt Patton and your family, and just what it all looks like.
Well, pretty busy. Got a wife, Faith Patton, and I got Wyatt Patton, who's a 15-year-old here at Williamsville, and Owen, 13-year-old. Wyatt was playing football, basketball, and baseball. Plays travel baseball during the summer. Owen plays basketball and soccer. Plays travel soccer all summer. So pretty busy. Just watching them grow up and enjoy being with them, watching them grow as young adults now. And then I also coach our 15U Shamrocks team in the Shamrocks organization. We've got 12 teams now, I believe, between baseball and softball from 7U all the way to 15U. Yeah. So pretty busy, enjoying life, and working out at the Air National Guard as a contractor, welding out there. So just living life and watching the kids grow.
I love to hear it. And I've been hearing whispers about Wyatt for a while now. Like, people, when I run into guys, it's always fun to run into baseball guys that I know, and like this next generation, their kids are coming through, and everyone's like, dude, Wyatt's the truth. You got to look out for this guy. He's got some big-time talent, athleticism. So it's cool that the apple didn't fall too far from the tree in that. I got to get out to see this kid at some point. And I just met him, so I'm at the house, and I got to shake his hand. I will say he's got the athlete look from one athlete to another. I think you can sometimes tell, when someone's got the look. He's got the look.
Yeah, sure. He's a pretty good ball player, so hopefully it keeps progressing and keeps getting stronger.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And we're going to get into a little bit about your Shamrock stuff as well. I know you're big into your program, and they just acquired the old R&M cyclery facility over on Washington, and we got to look at that a little bit. Really cool. Excited to get back in there at some point. But in prep for this, I went and talked to, like I said, Bull and Blaine. I thought it would be cool to get some clips to kind of hear, how they saw some of your time through your career. And then we'll get into all of our questioning and whatnot. But, so let's just start off with some Blaine clips here. Let's start off with Blaine. Let's go impressed. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Walt's the type of guy, if a scout comes, they're going to see him because he's going to, gap one, and then you're going to be like, oh, my God, his power to the gap, and then you see him leg out like a triple, and then you're going to see him make, a diving play in the process, and then, chuck 90 across the infield. It's just, like you said, I don't think it mattered what he did. He was just so talented and so skilled.
Totally agree. I'm going to move on before I let you talk here. So next one is going to be Blaine Hammer.
But that's when you were like, oh my God, and he had, as you remember, just a hammer of a curve.
Oh yeah, he did.
Just an it got to the point where I remember the catcher, I'm not going to say the kid's name, when we were in 8th grade, told him dude, quit making your curve so much. Because he couldn't catch it. Legit. He just, he would just, basically, throw two fastballs on the outside corner, and it's and it got to the point where, he would almost have to just throw it straight down the middle because at the junior high level, because it was so good that, kids weren't going to swing. They just buckled them.
So, a couple things. You had to tell a catcher to stop. Or catcher told you to stop making a curve so much?
Yeah, he was struggling a little bit, so he wanted me to try to let up a little bit.
Would you just not snap it as hard?
Just have to let up velocity-wise so it wouldn't take off. Yeah.
And I will reiterate this, or validate this. You did have an absolute hammer of a curveball. Do you have any? We talked a little bit about it before, but give me a little bit of insight on what you were thinking with your curveball. And I know you said you had a couple variations.
Yeah. So like I said, I caught in 6th grade year. Had an 8th grader, Dustin Constant, threw a curveball a lot. It was definitely over 50% of his pitching.
Yeah.
Huge sweeping curve. So as a 6th grader, I wanted to see my ball move that much. So when I started getting velocity behind it in 8th grade especially, it moved a ton. So then you have to learn the strike curveball, which I tried to throw from a 2 to 7 range, and then the out curveball from 12 to 6.
Yeah.
So just kept trying to figure out how to make it move more and make it move where you wanted it. So it was.
Yeah. I can remember facing you and being like, we always had like a fun little rivalry back and forth about the pitching and hitting.
We had a rivalry I didn't know about the first time we played. So, yeah,
we can talk about that
you got a base hit. Yeah.
But I remember, not wanting to be too positive. I don't know what the right word I'm looking for here, but I didn't want to pump you up. But I remember the first time you threw me a hammer, and I looked away. I was like, oh, my God, what was that? Like, I didn't want to let you know how good I thought it was.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, it was something you just had to work with and figure out how to make it move.
I love that. Next one is going to be Blaine, junior high baseball. So we went all the way back and talked, like I said, about all kinds of stuff with you. Here we go.
So, he wasn't, like, a super big guy. Like, I mean, kind of a later birthday. He was in March. So, like, he was just, just very athletic. So, I don't know if Walt had taught for, I don't even know, 6th grade maybe. Our starting catcher has to, like, we win the regional, has to go to, like, basic training and, like, leave us. Yes. So, like, has to leave us after we win a regional to go to, like, this, like, basic training. So we're like, does he want to catch, what are we going to do? Walt's like, oh, I'll catch. So just throws the gear on, maybe caught a bullpen or two leading up to it. And, like, was, no offense to the other, the catcher we had was by far the best catcher we had. I mean, just, I pitched the game. We ended up losing like 2-1 walk off, like sack fly or something. But, like, dude, he's like just blocking balls, like just, like, you're throwing pitches that, like, maybe you don't feel as comfortable throwing with somebody else behind the plate. And he just, to show, like, what kind of athlete he was, like, you could just throw him out there, and then he's the best catcher on the field. I mean, easily. So, like, I think you could have put him in. Yeah.
I totally agree. I think you could have played any position on the field.
What a cool clip. And let me, before I get into you here, I totally agree with Blaine that you could have played any position on the field. I think you'd have played any sport you wanted to, honestly. But anywhere on the field, and you could have succeeded. Do you have any thoughts on the clip by Blaine here?
Well, I mean, like I said, he touched on, he didn't remember the last time, so we actually on the drive back after the first episode, we were talking, and I was like, well, I caught all 6th grade year, and then I caught 2 JV games my freshman year because we needed a catcher, and I was like, I'll do it. So that was the last time I put gear on before that. But after, I mean, Blaine and I at that point would have been 16, 17 years old and played together for 13 years. Yeah. So, I mean, 12, 13, so knew how his ball moved.
Yeah.
And really as a catcher, I mean, yes, you have to frame, but the biggest thing is when they throw it in the dirt, stop it.
Get it.
So, I mean, and being a third baseman,
you're good at that already.
9 times out of 10, that's what you have to do. So
sure.
I trusted that, and he threw the best game I've seen in a long time, definitely the best one I ever caught. So it was easy. I mean, he threw the ball where I told him to.
That's awesome. All right, here's Blaine. Walt is a teammate.
Really, he wanted everybody to be kind of like as tough as he was. Like when you were matched up against him, say like basketball, like it's like, all right, you're matched up against him today. Really, he wanted everybody to be kind of like as tough as he was. Like when you were matched up against him, say like basketball, like it's like, all right, you're matched up against him today. You were kind of like, oh crap, man, like, dude, like he's, this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Like he's the guy that, like, I mean, is pushing everybody to be better, and like, I mean, he's like, to the point where you're playing basketball, like bordering on, I don't want to say, cheap. But, like, I mean, you're getting a couple elbows. He's not taking it easy on you. And, and that's where I kind of look back to the Christian Laettner thing, and, to where it's just like, dude, I think that was just, like, his just toughness, like, wanting everybody to be tougher around him. And it showed, man. Like you said, you talk to anybody that, like, played and you got matched up against him, you were like, crap, dude, like you hated to practice against him, but like as a teammate, like you didn't want anyone else, like I couldn't have picked anybody else that I would have wanted as a teammate over him, just from like knowing, the battles you knew that he would go through with you and like was going to, will your team to victory in a sense, like at times.
Some pretty kind words from Blaine there. You got anything?
Absolutely. I mean, just touching on that, I mean, like I've told my kids, like we talked about earlier, I mean, no matter if it's practice, if we're out in the driveway playing, anything, I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And my dad has always told me it's okay to lose, don't get beat. So at the end of the day,
love that. You
cannot, like, if you can't get beat, if you give 100% and lay it out there. And, I mean, when you're playing a team sport especially, I had a lot on my shoulders as I didn't want to let my teammates down. So when it came practice time, I took it serious because the harder I worked in practice, the easier the games were.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that,
well said.
That's just how I was raised. My dad kept that every day. If I complained about something, he said, work harder.
No, you're passing it on.
Yeah, just work harder.
Love that. That's so cool. All right, next one. Blaine, effectively wild, and everyone that has known Walt or played with him or seen him play knows that effectively wild is a great way to describe your pitching style. T. Scott said it, Bull said it, Blaine, I'll echo it as well. Here we go.
You always hear the term effectively wild, and that was him to a T, man. I mean, I don't think you would really want to get in there and, really buckle down and get in there, because he might throw one over the top of your head, and then he might, throw 3 breaking balls right down the middle, and, you're not going to take the bat off your shoulder.
Okay, next one is going to be called big-time players.
If the newspaper came to a game, like, you're like, dude, if you see Jim Rupert, like Dave Kane, you're like,
right.
This is a big deal, right?
Yeah,
This is a big
absolutely.
game. So, and I think I'd stated earlier at some point that, like, big game players, make big time plays, and that's kind of how it was with him. Like, he would pitch, and you're like, you see the paper there, and you're like, I mean, I knew in my mind, I'm like, he's going to strike out 15 guys. Like, there's no doubt about it. And he just made good hitters look terrible. And it's kind of funny because now with all the pitch counts and all that, like, I mean, I saw him on multiple occasions. He might walk the bases loaded, and then he'd strike the next 3 guys out on 9 pitches. I mean,
that does sound like Walt.
And you throw 150 pitches, and you just But I mean, it's just like I said. If you went back and looked at like any of the games, I mean, I think even in like junior college, like I remember we played SCI our freshman year, and it was like the paper comes out, right? Lincoln Land versus SCI, big deal. And I'm sure you could probably go back through and find the stats, dude. But like, I guarantee you, he threw 8 innings, same thing, struck out 13, 14, 15 guys, probably gave up 2-3 hits, maybe 1 run. I mean, it's one of those where when he's on the mound, you're like, it's not like, oh, we have a chance. You're like, we're going to win.
Yeah, Walt's going to dominate.
I totally agree with that. I echo that. And it takes me back to a memory that I have of, so our freshman year together, you shoved. You had a great year. I had a tumor in my hip and redshirted. But I ended up they would put the red shirts to work, like, doing stuff in the press box, keeping score, all that stuff. And I had a very unique perspective. I remember that game against SCI at Lincoln Land. I think is what he's talking about. And I remember watching you from the press box and being, like, so impressed. You were really what I thought was at the top of your game, where you were sitting 91, 92 with some running it up to 94, 95 with life. Like, it looked like it was literally rising, popping at the end, and then just the wipeout curve. And I totally agree. I thought anytime Walt Patton was on the bump that it was a game we were going to win. So cool to hear that from Blaine.
Absolutely. Very, very kind words.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we got 2 more from Blaine. One's called Bye Bye, and one's called Walt Wins, and they're both kind of funny. So here we go.
And this is where it's probably, bordered on either, confidence/arrogance. Like, I'd be sitting there at shortstop, and he'd be 0-2 on somebody, and he'd look back at me, and he would just wave bye-bye to me. Like, I'm like, well, he's just going to throw a hand here and strike him out looking. And that's what happened every time. I mean, he knew, like, mentally, he knew he was better than you, and he was going to show it, and he had the confidence to go out there and just, compete. And beat anyone if they're at their best. I mean, if he was at his best or someone else at their best, like, I'm taking him every time.
Where did that belief in yourself come from? Because I remember that too, not like in an arrogant way, but just like there was no doubt. You just believed in yourself as an athlete, like you were the man.
Well, I mean, to have confidence or cockiness, however anybody wants to word it, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
So basically,
I never saw you as cocky.
Preparation.
Yeah.
If you don't put the work in, you're going to question yourself.
Yeah.
If you put the work in and do it over and over and over, you can make that pitch, or you can get the hit here, or the people to me that struggle with any confidence, they're not putting in enough work to feel like they can step up and do it when they need to.
Interesting. I like that. All right, the last one is a funny one. It's called Walt Wins. Here we go.
It was something stupid in, like, junior high. Like, we kind of joked they would be, at lunch, everybody would be playing, like a stupid game to take your time, just to finish up lunch. And, like, we used to joke that, he would make up games, and we'd call it Walt Wins, because you would play it until Walt won. Like, basically, and that's kind of how it was. I mean, you played golf with them. You had a shooting competition. It was like you played until, it's like double or nothing. You played until Walt wins. So, God. And I mean, so that's kind of the same, it's like competitive, spirit that you hear a lot of those guys that are, like the Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
It's like the guys that just like, no, we're not leaving until I win. And it's just like, dude, like, and it was. I mean, you would sit there and it might take an hour, but I mean, he was going to win.
Walt wins.
Oh, yeah. So now, like, the game he's talking about in junior high, we were playing on a pull-up rack in the cafeteria. We played with a hacky sack of some sort, but no, at the end of the day, I mean, never willing to quit is the goal. I mean,
for sure.
Definitely not quit on a loss, you hope, but sometimes you have to.
He almost kind of, I want to say he compared you to, like, that Michael Jordan, almost like, not in a negative way, but I'm going to say sociopathic, like, desire to win, like just a burning. Would you say that was kind of in you? Just like,
yeah, I mean, I never wanted to give up on anything. So it was, felt like you could always win if you just kept trying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Keep showing up. All right. Moving on to Bull. Love this guy. True players coach. My favorite coach of all time. We'll talk a lot about Bull, but let's start with a Bull clip on Walt as an athlete. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously multi-sport. I mean, obviously he got hurt his senior year and, towards ACL playing basketball. But, I mean, could have played anywhere on the baseball field. Obviously played and pitched in high school. Was just like I said, just a super athlete. I mean, there wasn't anything – I don't think there was any sport that he couldn't have played. I don't think there was any position in any sport that he could have played. Just an unbelievable athlete.
Got anything?
No. Very, very nice words from Bull.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think anyone can compete in anything if they really want to.
Well said. All right. What stood out, Bull, next?
Obviously, what stood out was just velocity, and he threw hard. In a time when everybody didn't throw 90.
Right.
He did. His stuff was very good. Obviously, at times when he came in, he was a little wild and a little, just needed some refine and some polishing to become the best pitcher that he could be. But I mean, the stuff was there. But obviously, just had a plus arm.
All right. Next one is Bull, uber competitive, and this is something that people have kind of echoed as well.
I think just being the athlete, and then the other thing I think that might be a little lost at too is uber competitive. I mean,
he was.
Would have wanted to win in anything. So I think he would have been successful in any sport that he wanted to play.
Got anything?
No, I mean, like I said, if you're gonna play, give it your all, and don't give up.
Perfect. And here we go, Bull. And you were actually the first player drafted under Bull. So Bull took over from Claude Krasik in 2003, and then you would have been drafted in 2004. So first one, and it says something about a program if you have guys there that are getting drafted. You're clearly doing something right. So special thing.
I think so. I do think so. I mean, it was obviously great for him. He was, again, just super talented, and I mean, he had all the stuff. There was no doubting that. And I think that's what the pro guys saw. I mean, he had all the stuff. It was just, could it be more consistent?
All right, and the last one, Walt was that guy. Here we go.
I mean, always wanted the ball, though. I mean, it was just, even after, he had one of those arms that, some guys I've had that are power pitchers, they need their rest, right? I mean, they need their 7 days before they throw again. And Walt pitched for us at a time when we played more often than we do now. Our schedule had been a little more spread out lately. We started earlier, only played on weekends, and back then it wasn't like that. We started later, and we had to play during the week and on weekends. And because Walt was a guy who, I had to keep the ball out of his hands more than, he always wanted it in his hands. I know I started the other day, but I can get you 6 outs today. It's like, no, you pitched 2 days ago, you're not pitching today. But again, that goes back to that, uber competitive person that he is, had confidence in himself to feel like, regardless, I was always the best guy for that job, whether it was getting a hit, making a play on the mound, whatever it was, I was that guy. And he always felt like he was that guy.
Cool to hear. And, in an age now where everyone's on pitch counts and there's metrics and all these things, it sounds like you just always wanted that ball and you were a workhorse, kind of like a dying breed, I guess you would say. Do you have any thoughts on any of that?
I mean, that comes from my parents. My dad's worked very, very hard his whole life and always instilled it to us to give it everything we got. Yeah. Obviously, maybe do it a little differently from where we were at, but I wouldn't change it really because, again, if I feel like I can throw, I know what work I'd put in, preparations to do so. So, I mean, like I said, I always felt like I could do it. Sometimes you fall short, but that's the reason we play.
Oh, that's the truth, buddy. All right. Well, we're through our clips now. Are you ready to move on to the questions?
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man. Cool. All right. So we've essentially redone the part that we did earlier. So we're through that now. We're to the questions. He does know these. I sent them to him. I don't know if you looked at them. Did you?
I did.
We are also brought to you by Milner Dentistry, located at 755 South Grand Avenue West. They can be reached at 217-528-3384. Dr. Ty and his staff are incredible. The place is clean. They do amazing work. They can handle all your dentistry needs. Thanks again to Dr. Ty for agreeing to sponsor us here. He was a standout at Rochester, SCI, and then later had a really cool story of walking on at the U of I. Have a ton of respect for this guy. Please go support Dr. Ty and Milner Dentistry. We are also brought to you by Christ the King's Men's Club through my good buddy John Chisholm. We came up together playing baseball. We played for the Flame together, Springfield High, and then he went on to play at Spoon River for a little bit. They are selling bourbon raffle tickets right now for $100. You have a 1 in 10 chance to win. The raffle is being held on February the 22nd, 7 p.m. at the Crafted Stag. They have an absolute insane lineup of high-end bourbon for the winners. Contact my good buddy again, John Chisholm, at 217-725-8682 if you're interested. Please go and support these guys. We really appreciate you. Thanks, Christ the King Men's Club. We are also brought to you by Hammers Radon Mitigation Solutions. You can reach them at 217-670-4292, hammersradon@gmail.com, or head on over to their website, hammersradonmitigation.com. They do exactly what you need. This is everything radon that you can think of. This is Les Hammers. This is a Springfield firefighter, a former standout football player at Jacksonville, Truman State, and then played a little pro ball, a little arena ball himself. Since opening, Hammers Radon Mitigation Solutions have become masters of their craft. Their commitment to quality mitigation, exceptional services, and incomparable customer care keep our homeowners safe. They never stop improving and will continue to expand their offerings. Get in touch with Les today. You will not be disappointed. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks, Les. We are also brought to you by Matt Brewer. Matt is an attorney here in town at the law offices of Stephen Kelly. Matt exclusively practices in the areas of personal injury and workers' compensation. He can be reached at 217-544-8000 or mbrewer@stephenkelly.com. I loved competing against this guy growing up. He was an SHG grad, 2002, stud in football and baseball. Went on to star for Dan Callahan at SIU Carbondale, and then had a one-year career pitching in the Diamondbacks organization. I ran into this guy the other day. He looks like he could still lace him up. We appreciate you, Matt.
Did look at him.
A
It's
little
been
bit?
minute.
A little briefly?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All
A
right.
little scan.
All right, cool. So we've got about 65 questions here. And we'll start off. Some are a little deeper, some are lighter, some are funny. So we'll get through them here. We'll chat about some baseball, my man. You ready?
Sounds great.
All right, dude. First one. We were just at the Shamrock facility. Tell me about the Shamrock program and your involvement and kind of what you guys are all about.
Okay, so we started, trying to think here, would have been 21 or so. Owen started playing for Chad Carter. He runs our organization.
Uh-huh.
Him and his wife do an amazing job.
Was that the guy that was in there today?
No, that was just another guy coming to hit. But Chad Carter does a fantastic job, him and his wife. Like I said, we have 12 teams now in the organization.
Wow.
With baseball and softball, going from 7U. Chad's got a 7U guy, and then 2 other boys in the organization. I mean, unbelievable what he puts into it. And like I said, that new facility we just got, a lot of time and energy's going into it. But you couldn't ask for a better group or people running an organization put the time in and what they do. I mean, it's a great time. We're looking forward to this spring. We've got 7 new kids on our team out of 12. So really, we just had a first night last night. We fitted for the uniforms and watched them all hit a little bit.
It looks great in there. It's coming along.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how we come together as a team this year and see what we can do.
Oh, I love it. I love it, buddy. All right. Tell me about your glove of choice and then the web that you also of choice.
Well, glove of choice, I would say now would be a Wilson.
You had Wilson's back in the day, didn't you?
I had a Rawlings.
You were a Rawlings guy?
Yep.
Okay.
And for pitching, I mean, closed web where you can't see the ball.
Yeah.
Infield, I don't remember exactly the brand, but Wyatt's got 2 of them now. So
Why Wilson over Rawlings now?
I think they're a little heavier, so
like
lasting a little longer, and I just like the feel of them.
Right on. What you remember what size you used when you pitched?
Pitching would have been just 11.5 probably. Yeah.
Basic. Okay. What are the best ways to break in a glove and maintain a glove? Well, things that you use. I've got my own little old potion and all this stuff that I do, and I'm pretty intricate with it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I mean, a lot of catch to get them broke in. I don't really do anything special with it. I mean, Wyatt's got a newer glove right now that we're trying to get ready. But just play a lot of catch, and we got some oil we put on it, but nothing much more
Not
than
too
that. I think
crazy?
it's just some
Keep it simple?
mink oil. Yep.
Mink oil?
Yep.
Dude, mink oil's it. I remember Claude Krasick turning me on to mink oil when I went to those Lincoln Land camps back in the day, and I still use it to this day.
Absolutely.
I use it now more as during the winter if you're not going to be using it for a while because it's a little heavy.
Yep.
To really get some moisture in it and condition it. And
Correct.
Awesome. Tell me about. So a lot of people don't. Everyone knows Walt Patton is through gas, right? You're a pitcher, but man, you got a potent bat, powerful, strong. I'd love to hear about your favorite bat of choice. Let's go metal, and if you had a wood one, let's hear about that.
I mean, metal. I mean, I honestly love the TPXs.
Hey, Faith.
Which we weren't allowed to use in college.
That's
but
right.
the Omaha back in the day was
Yeah.
definitely the hottest bats. And then we had the Easton Stealths our sophomore year, which would have been probably the best bat we used.
Those were pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's the stiff one.
Yeah.
Because they had different flexes. Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
The handle,
absolutely.
right?
They had
It
a
was
regular and a stiffed.
Yeah, that's right. Those were 2-piece bats.
So, and then, I mean, wood didn't really matter. Didn't use it much, so
Right.
don't really have a –
Okay. Did you have any superstitions as a player?
Just not step on the foul line.
Really?
When I ran to the mound, you cannot
Not
step
gonna
on
do
the
it?
foul line. Nope.
And just because everyone else said don't do it, or was there any thought? Isn't that a weird thing?
Yeah,
I don't even
I'm pretty
remember.
sure it's just something you see, and
Right.
well, I wasn't going to take a chance.
Who did you root for growing up, baseball team-wise?
I didn't.
Nobody.
No.
Just players or
Never,
what?
yeah, I mean, never really had a
Never had a team.
favorite team in baseball. I mean, obviously, probably junior high, you obviously everybody liked the Yankees, but still wouldn't say I watched a little bit. But on TV, I never could sit down long enough to watch.
So you just never picked a team?
No.
Really?
No.
Interesting.
I still don't have teams.
You might be the first one that's not even picked a team at any level. Really?
Yeah, I don't have favorite basketball. I mean, Bulls when we were kids.
Sure.
But other than that.
Well, did you have favorite players? 'Cause my next question is top 5 all-time favorite players.
Yeah, I mean, loved watching Jeter play.
Okay.
Obviously, Rodriguez hitting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Bonds,
Yep.
McGuire, and Sosa. We lived through those eras. But and then, obviously, now you have can't think of his name right now. Shortstop, Cincinnati. Unbelievable.
De La Cruz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable player.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
love watching him play.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite pitchers?
Roger Clemens, biggest reason. I mean, obviously, he would never back down from anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he would be definitely my favorite to watch when back then.
Okay. Pitching-wise, were there any motions that you tried to emulate? Or even hitters, too? Let's go pitchers first.
No, pitching, no. I had Roger Erickson help me when I was probably 10.
I went to Erickson baseball school, too, buddy.
Yep. So
if you can count, you can pitch. Remember that? 1, 2, 3, 4?
Worked with me a ton to get me at least where I could throw a strike.
Yeah.
And then, just kind of moved on. Grew from there.
Yeah. Were there any hitters you tried to emulate?
No. Again, just trying to make sure I hit the ball. But like I said, Erickson worked with that a little bit, and then just coaches throughout the years.
Right on. This is one of my favorite ones. I'm always curious what people think. What is the best baseball movie of all time, and what's the worst? Let's chat about it a little bit.
I love watching Major League. It's funny.
The first one?
Any of them.
Yeah.
But, the first one's better. But worst.
Wait, before we go on, why do you like Major League so much? What is it about it that just makes it your favorite?
Well, I mean, when they started playing better is when they were just kind of having a good time instead of stressing over everything. But just like the what's his name? Charlie Sheen.
Ricky Vaughn.
Yep.
Wild Thing.
Yep. That's my boy's nickname. So.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wild Thing.
Yep. Trying to get his hair cut like that this summer, but he
really
won't.
With
won't
the
do
zigzags
it.
in the
Won't
back.
do it.
He won't do it.
No.
Does he like the movie?
Oh yeah.
Is this Wyatt we're talking about?
Yep. Wyatt.
Oh, Wyatt, you got to do it, buddy. You got to do it. Bring that back.
Yep. We have a speaker every once in a while for our games, and sometimes that comes on when he goes to the mound.
Really? Like the Wild Thing music?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's great. What's the worst baseball movie? There's some stinkers.
Yeah, I don't know if I really had one picked out for that, bud.
Some ones in the past. Summer Catch. The Babe Ruth movie's terrible. Angels in the Outfield is not great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a worst.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Baseball video games. Did you play any growing up?
So, Nintendo.
What are you fond of? Yeah.
Nintendo has got
RBI.
Little League World Series.
Ooh.
Yeah, with
okay.
Hawaii, and Hawaii was a ton in there.
Okay.
Played a lot of Ken Griffey Jr. with Blaine at his house.
On Super?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that game is
awesome.
incredible.
Yep.
That game, it has all it is the players, but they've got goofy names. Like they didn't have the licensing.
Yep.
You could hit bombs in that. That was a great game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun gameplay. I played that too coming up.
Yep.
Any else?
That's it.
Did you play any MVPs or NCAAs when those came out?
Not baseball.
Not much?
No.
Okay. Tell me, you remember the old school – I've asked every guest this that was a Lincoln Land guy. The old school logger logo, like the kneeling logger?
I actually don't.
You don't remember that?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm about to show – hold on.
He got his shirt on. Oh, he got it on his arm. Okay, yeah, I do remember that.
So I've got a tattoo on my arm. I've got the old school logger guy, but they had just switched it, I think, right around when we came.
Yep, it was there, I guess, during high school. Do
you remember Claude Krasik?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Is Claude the logo?
Could have been. Could have been.
So there was a joke that Claude says he's not the logo, but it looks so much like him. Like it looks like Claude posed for a picture and made himself the logo. So all right, another vote for Claude maybe. All right, and this is a fun thing for me because as freshmen at Lincoln Land, we had to sit next to each other. Sophomores got their own seat, so I got to sit next to you, headed down to our Florida and New Orleans trips. What are some of your favorite things to do on the bus to pass the time?
Well, I can't remember the game. Oh, yeah, I can. Never mind. I was going to say I can't remember the game. But
baseball name game?
No. If you remember, we brought a PlayStation with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We played NFL Street.
NFL Street.
Yeah.
What a great game.
Yep,
I remember playing that with Alpsmeyer and some of those guys, too. That was a great game. Yeah. What about in Pro Ball, though? You're not bringing a PlayStation.
No, I mean, we really didn't do a whole lot on the buses on Pro Ball. We just slept.
Just
going
sleeping?
from place to place.
Yep. Do you remember the baseball name game?
I don't think so.
If I said like Roberto Alomar, you would have to, the next name would have to be like Andy Bennis, and then
okay, yeah.
You want to play for a couple names? Let's do 3 names.
All right, let's see if I can do it.
All right, I'll start off. Let's go Rick Ankiel.
Ankiel. So I got to start with an A or an L?
Yeah, A.
Andy Pettit.
Andy Pettit. Pat Lestache.
Ooh. L. I'm at an L. LaCruz.
There we go. Sure. We'll do it. All right, the baseball name game. I used to love this. Like, I always loved the bus trips. Not everyone did, but one of my favorite things to do in the back of the bus was the baseball name game. I would just play that.
Yep.
And like, play it with me, guys. And people would be like, Blake, shut up. But, all right, the baseball name game, we got a few of those in. All right. Oh, this is fun. So, tell me about how you built arm strength, and would you have done it differently coming up? And let me say before you answer this, I owe you some gratitude and some thanks. When I came to Lincoln Land, I was a little tight from lifting too much, and all throughout high school, I had some arm problems trying to pitch and do shortstop at the same time. But anyway, I switched to outfield when I got to Lincoln Land, and I started long tossing with you.
Yep. And
my arm went from like okay-ish, pretty good, to like strong.
Yep.
And it was because your arm was much stronger than mine, and I was trying to keep up, and you were always willing to chuck it, and I continued that throughout my career. I always tried to play catch with someone with a stronger arm than me that really wanted to air it out, but it started with you.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your thoughts again. Tell me about how you built your arm strength and what you have done differently coming up.
So, I mean, I feel it 99% of it came from long toss due to my dad and I'd be out playing catch. And, I mean, even dating back, trying to play with the Twins or whatever, they really didn't let us play long toss.
Yeah.
It was 120 feet max.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I didn't like it. But, no, I mean, we'd be out in our field. He's got a 5-acre field in front of the house. He didn't have as strong as arm once I got to 8th grade and move it up, so he would literally come out, hit fly balls, one-handed to me, and I would throw it back to him.
Really?
So, like, as far as he could hit it, I would try to get it back to him. And I mean, I still feel to this day that it's some of the best for, number one, teaching you how to use your whole body instead of throwing with your arm.
Yeah.
And stretching, just stretching you out.
Right.
But, I mean, I believe very heavily in it.
Tell me about your thoughts on it, because everyone long tosses a little differently. Like I preferred to like really get as long as you could on a line until you couldn't, and then start really getting air under it. What are your thoughts?
I would say throwing at 85% for the most part, starting out long as you can, and then really figuring out how to get your body into it. I think a lot of people still to this day think it's all arm strength to get velocity, which I know now everybody's throwing a lot harder. But your wrist and has a lot to do with the ball rotation. You have to get the rotation to get it to take off.
Well said. And I can remember, I don't know why I remember this, but I remember you like standing on the foul line, first base side, before a game or something, and I was like, someone was like, "Well, you can't throw it over the scoreboard or something like that."
Yeah,
and you just like turned around and were like, "Shoo!" and like threw that thing over the damn scoreboard.
Well, I hit the scoreboard.
Hit the scoreboard? Okay, that what it was.
No, right. Joey Alsmeyer. So it was actually in practice. We just played either the day before. I think it was the day before, but Joey said I couldn't get it over the scoreboard, so I thought I could, and it was close, but we got an earful afterwards from Riggle. Yeah.
What was the farthest? What's the farthest you've ever thrown a ball?
Over 400, thrown out center. So.
Throwing out to center?
Oh, yeah, throw it out.
Ridiculous. Wow, that is a different level of arm strength. Cool. Tell me a little bit about who you played for in Little League and your kind of Little League experience.
So, dating back to Tri-City days, Little League, we played with, I believe Joe Taft was one of my coaches. And then, like I said, I only played there a year, I think, and Blaine and his dad talked me into coming into Springfield. And I'm trying right now to think of his name. I cannot think of his name.
Who was the team you played on in Fairview? Was it Black Sporting Goods?
I played for Illini.
Illini,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, played for Illini, and I can't think of his name right now.
It's okay.
Gosh dang.
Don't worry about it. We'll come back to it. When did you start playing travel ball, and who was that with?
So I believe our first year that I would have started was with Bob Nika.
Oh,
Yep.
Grandpa Nika?
Yep, Grandpa Nika back in 10-11U.
Yeah.
And then when we left there, we went to
what team was that?
the Cobras.
Cobras, that's
Yep,
right.
played with Lucas Turner.
Yeah,
And
stud.
those guys. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Who else would have been on that team?
Blaine ended up being on that team.
Yeah.
Man, let's see here. Who was catching? I mean, Bobby Nika was on there.
Was Nick Bramlett?
Nick Bramlett
Woody?
was on there. Yep, old Woody.
Yeah, he was a legend. If people
Yep.
don't know about this
He
guy.
was dangerous.
Phew. This guy was the most dangerous 12, 13-year-old in the country. I mean, like 6'4", probably throwing 80.
Yep.
It was
Hard.
lethal. And like sidearm slinging it.
Yep. Scary.
Yep, for
And
sure.
what was I trying to think of?
Did you play Cobras all the way up?
No, we ended up going to, was it? I think it was Cobras. Then we went to Rodney Rupel out of
Rupel from
AC
Peter-
Central. Yep.
Okay, AC Central, Petersburg,
Porter.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. So played with them for a few years, and then
Was that just like a Legion team?
we traveled, went to Chicago a few times and
Yeah.
stuff, Ohio.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then that was all the way up to like 15, 16 range, and then kind of just played some school summer ball after that.
Tell me about travel ball then versus now. What's the difference?
I would say then, if you were on a travel team, it was going to be a lot of the top guys from all over together.
Yeah.
And maybe not as much, but like it's just about everybody's traveling now.
Right, yeah. It's not
I'd
the
say
same
it's
level.
a little watered down, but I mean, there's
Right.
still some really, really great teams around the area right now.
I totally agree with that. I mean, there
It's a
seems
lot
to be a
more
lot of
kids.
organizations and stuff, but back in the day, there was like a handful.
Yeah.
And like those were the guys, like the best guys.
Yep.
But now anyone can just start a team, right?
Correct.
You can start a program like, hey, my kid didn't make this team, I'm going to make my own.
Absolutely.
Right? It's a little watered down. Cool. What is your earliest memory of like falling in love with the game? Like when you're like, man, I love baseball, I want to do this.
Well, I mean, I think it goes back to my dad playing catch with me just every day, man. I loved it. Loved trying to get in there and get a hit, and just satisfaction when you did. I mean, my great-grandpa used to give me $1 if I had a home run.
Really?
So that's a lot of fun, you know.
I mean, like young, like 10, 8?
Oh, I would have been probably 7.
Really?
Yeah. Just like I said, I was Blaine, when he said earlier, I was one of the smaller guys back 6th grade year, man.
Yeah.
It took everything I had to compete with some of the kids, especially 8th graders, and always just the drive.
You were always playing
to get
up,
better.
that's what Blaine said, right?
Yeah, I mean, we played 6th grade year. We both started junior high ball with the
Yeah.
8th graders. So I mean but I mean, like I said, we put a lot of work in. I mean, we hit in his shed with wiffle ball machine, which is awesome.
That's cool.
And then, like I said, we just always wanted to compete. And I was definitely one of the smaller kids growing up, so just had to keep.
And would you
getting
say
stronger.
would you end up being 6 foot?
Yeah, 6 foot.
What was your playing weight? What was your ideal?
I mean, left Lincoln Land probably 205, 210.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt good there.
Yep.
What Blaine mentioned some like tire that you used to have in your backyard. Can you speak on that? You said you either developed your hammer with that or just arm strength.
Yeah.
What was that?
We had a 8-foot fence put up, just chain link fence with a rope swing with a tire hanging. That was my pitching target.
Really?
So yep, I'd go out and grab a bucket of balls, throw at it, and then might be out there for a couple hours, and then my dad would come home from work, and I'd be sitting on his tailgate waiting for him with a glove. So
when do you feel like your arm started, or when do you feel like you started separating yourself? Like, oh, I've got a strong arm, like a little stronger than everybody else.
it definitely showed in 8th grade.
8th grade?
Like that was, yep. I didn't pitch much 6th, 7th, and then 8th grade year, I think I threw.
Whoa!
I think I went 13-1 in our 20-1 season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did pro ball become the goal, or was it ever the goal? It just happened.
I'd say, I mean, the biggest push would have been when Brownie came to
The scout.
Yep, came to Lanphier Park during a April showcase game, and after that,
In high school?
Yeah, junior year, he
Yeah.
showed up, and after that was kind of in my head that's what I wanted to. I mean, push for.
What were you sitting at velo wise as a junior?
93.
Woo!
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So somewhere between 90 and 93, and he was there. I threw 5 innings that night, and then Blaine came in and threw 2. And I think combined out of 21 batters, we struck out 19 together. So.
Okay. Cool. Tell me about high school baseball, that experience for you. We 4-year varsity?
3 years.
3?
Didn't get to play senior year.
That's right, with your ACL.
Yeah. But, we junior year had our best shot. Got beat out by Stanford Olympia.
Yeah.
Blaine threw a magnificent game. It was just fun to be part of. Steve Rowley knocked us out, which, Kendrick was pitching for them.
These both ended up being teammates of ours at Lincoln Land.
From Lincoln Land, and Steve Rowley hit a shot to right that we didn't catch, but it was crazy to get beat out by them. They won it all, and then, obviously 2 years later, be teammates with them. So,
yeah. What was your favorite yard in the area coming up? Or place to play?
I would definitely say Landfear.
Yeah, I like Landfear.
Loved playing at Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Which,
sad
to see it's closed up.
It's nothing.
It's shut down.
It's overgrown. I went and saw it the other day because Casey said something about it. Casey Erickson said it's done, and I was like, it's sad to see it.
Yeah, it's very sad. I love playing there.
Something special about Landfear, though.
Yeah, Landfear it feels more, feels more big league like compared to all of our high school fields we play on.
Was there any field you did not like playing at?
No, there were several, but Tri-City had all dirt, which looking back on
really?
Was wonderful to play on compared to some of the infields you get to play on now, like even now. But
at least you'll get true bounces.
Yep. Every once in a while I'll hit a rock, but back in high school, man, if someone had a grass infield, it was gonna eat you alive because it never was. Lincoln Lands was perfect.
It was
beautiful.
Yeah,
still is.
And before we move on, Blaine was really he was heartbroken after he said he almost took your ACL tear probably worse than you did because you guys had these plans, to win state in basketball and baseball,
Yeah, I don't know if we would have got it in basketball, but baseball we were going to have a great pitching staff. We had Chris Unthank, Blaine, myself.
Oh, Unthank, I forgot.
Yeah,
he did come out there, didn't he?
Yeah. So
Unthank, and then, I love that guy too. What a funny dude.
Then our catcher that left for the military junior year broke his wrist that summer when he got back from boot camp. Yeah. So he was out. So, we had 2 of our starters down senior year, and it was just that was pretty rough.
Love it. Tell me about your ACL tear and then coming back from that.
Well, tore it out at Lincoln Land playing basketball against Riverton in the county tournament, and got it fixed, and then took about 5 months to get back on the baseball field. So it was pretty tough mentally. No, you can't play.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I knew my dad said, if you put the work in, you'll be back. And I had a fantastic doctor. Dr. Phillips out of Peoria.
Okay.
Yep, I think he's retired now, but he was amazing. Like I said, when I went to him, I went to one here in Springfield and was told, you're not going to be the same. And I was like, nope, you're not cutting it. Yeah. So went to Dr. Phillips, and he did all Bradley University basketball players, soccer. And at that time, I was like, if he can do that and get them back on the court, I should be able to get back on a baseball field.
Did you know it was torn instantly?
Yeah, I could feel it snap and just on fire.
Yeah. Do you feel like you obviously did a bunch of rehab to come back from that? Do you feel like your athleticism, your power was the same when you came back? Less? More?
After about a year in, I think I was fine.
Yeah.
It felt fine. Like I said, I had you in the weight room pushing me in sprints, conditioning.
Sure.
It was just one of those things. Once about a year in, honestly, had no pain in it.
Yeah.
And just had to block it out. Like I said, first year back was tough because we went to Lincoln Land. They still had the rubber floor.
Oh, gosh, I remember that thing.
So when we did conditioning, I was not really wanting to push it too hard.
It was hard on your joints.
Just didn't want to push it.
Beating.
Screw it up
For those you don't remember, Lincoln Land used to have this, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like this rubber.
It was grippy. It was grippy.
This rubber, 70s court surface. They've since got rid of it, but it was awful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Take ground balls from Wriggle at 140 mile an hour.
Seriously, man. That's going to be crazy. Okay. ACL tear, we've been through that. And obviously it came back. I want to stop on for 1 second. Before, it was kind of a tradition. I don't know if they still do it, but before Lincoln Land practices when we were indoors, when it was cold, a lot of the guys that could dunk, would be shooting around and, you know, doing some dunks before practice. And this guy would put on like a dunk contest worthy dunks. I mean, it was really impressive to watch you sky and go up there and get it and throw it down. So obviously your knee was feeling a little bit better at that point.
Yeah, it was doing good. Like I said, we had some really good athletes on our teams. I mean,
for sure. A lot of guys that were good at basketball in high school.
Yeah, we had some kids that could play.
Tell me about getting recruited at a high school. Who did you talk to collegiately, professionally? How'd that go for you?
Well, I mean, really out of high school, the only two people I talked to was ISU in Bloomington and Riggle.
That's it?
Yeah.
What did ISU
didn't play
say?
all senior year. They gave me would have gave me 93%, I think, scholarship to go there. But I honestly, not knowing how my knee was going to be, knew who we had coming into Lincoln Land and just being closer to home.
We had a stud class.
Getting healed up, and like I said, we had a good group.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there any talk about being drafted by Brownie?
No, not senior year, just due to me not playing. I mean, I didn't get to play again until June.
Right, I remember that.
So
late in the summer. I remember you being out there on the mound with a big old bulky brace on your knee.
Yeah, that was fun.
Tell me about choosing Lincoln Land and why.
Well, like I said, we talked to ISU and went and visited there. And like I said, I knew a bunch of guys coming into Lincoln Land, yourself, Travis Scott, Blaine.
Yep.
Unthank we ended up going there.
Yep.
Lucas Turner,
Bobby Nika,
Chad Van Meter.
We had some guys.
Yeah. So I mean, I was like, why go away to play?
Yeah. Not
know anyone and feel like we could compete there and keep progressing from there.
I'll always think that we missed our mark, that we could have won a national championship out there. It just didn't. It wasn't in the cards.
Yep, we were there.
We had some talent.
A couple games away from getting there.
Yeah. Tell me what's special about Lincoln Land. What do you look back on and smile about?
Well, I mean, like I said, great group of guys. Our freshman year especially. I mean, we had Riggle, who was a great coach. His dad cooking the cheeseburgers. That. We had Squires, hitting coach. Danny McGee. Big props to him because I don't think he ever said no to us when we asked if he wanted to stay after and
Danny
throw
was
to us.
He was always willing to do extra.
He would always stay and throw to us. Eric Weaver, just getting out of big leagues, coming and coaching with us.
Mm-hmm.
They all kind of put the team first. I mean, honestly, before anyone else.
Tell me, I love that. What's special about Bull as a coach? What are some positives? What do you think back and remember?
I mean, he definitely pushed us hard. Like I said, we always were in shape. I'll give him that.
Oh God, yes, we were.
He ran us to death.
Woo!
Learn not to cheat it when you're supposed to run to the church. Run to the church. Don't cut it back. Then you got to run again. Then you got to run again. He'll drive down and wait for you.
He would.
I mean, like I said, he did really well. I think sometimes we exceeded expectations, and at the end we kind of fell short. But he did a great job.
Well said. Do you have any? So Big Bull. I always ask about Big Bull, the Lincoln Land guy. So as you guys know, Big Bull is Bull's dad. He ran the concession stand. He told some off the wall stories and just always had some advice. And if you know him, you got a special place in your heart. Do you have any Big Bull stories?
I mean, he knew every time I showed up that I would want a cheeseburger, so he'd always have one for me. After games, usually he had one waiting.
Yep.
So, I mean, like I said, he was a great guy to sit and chat with. I don't remember any conversations right offhand, but, I mean, great guy. Great guy.
Love that. Tell me about what you remember about your freshman year at Lincoln Land. I've got the stats here. Really strong year.
Oh, boy.
No, man. Oh, boy. 2004, as a hitter, hit 331, 133 at-bats, 3 dings, 12 doubles, 504 slugging, so strong. As a pitcher, shoved, man. 3.21 ERA, 12 appearances, 70 innings, 86 strikeouts, shoving. What do you remember about that year?
Like I said, a very good year. I remember having
This episode is brought to you by Glisten Heating and Air. You can reach them at 217-341-3129 or visit glistenheatingandair.com. That's GLISSON. This is owned and operated by Gibbs Gleason himself, a member of the 2000 Pleasant Plains baseball team that were state champs. That's the Dusty Bensko era, former guest. This guy's in the baseball community. He helps coach his son, who's in the local travel scene. This truly is the pros pro for HVAC in the area. I mean, this is the who's who of former pros that have used him. Let's talk about Corey Erickson, Jason Worth, Ryan Murphy, Jason Knadler, Justin Knadler, Brad Owens, Greg Morantz, Jason Washam, Eric Easley. His reviews speak for themselves. Call Glisten Heating and Air. They care about your air. We appreciate you. We are also brought to you by Cardinal Cleaning. They can be reached at cardinalcleaningonline.com and 217-679-6567. The owner-operator, Adam Springer, local baseball dude, family friend, standout at Chatham Glenwood in the mid-'90s. Also had a stellar career at Rend Lake and Kentucky Wesleyan. Cardinal Cleaning can take care of any cleaning needs you have. Home, business, restaurant, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever you need, they can take care of you. Get a hold of Cardinal Cleaning. They'll do the rest. We are also brought to you by Cornerstone Financial Services. This is my good buddy Ryan Kaiser, who has 18 years in the business. They are located at 2001 West Monroe Street, 217-718-4670. This is an absolute baseball family, the Kaiser family. They're Cubs crazy. They're part of the Arsenal family. Ryan specializes in retirement planning, estate planning, is a certified financial planner, and does wealth management. There's over 60 years of experience in that building with other financial services guys. Please go see them for anything you might have in this field. We really appreciate you. Big fan of Ryan Kaiser. This episode is being brought to you by Eric Easley of the Easley Real Estate Team with the Real Estate Group. This team consists of Eric, Jamie Murphy, and Caitlin Fry. They can be reached at 217-971-3256 or at theeasleysalesteam.com. Eric was a standout quarterback and shortstop at Southeast back in the mid-'90s and later starred at Western Illinois in baseball. Also one of the best umpires around this area for many years, teaming up with Bobby Erickson. He sold houses for all kinds of baseball dudes in the area. The Knadler brothers, Justin and Jason, Ryan Murphy, Todd Schneller, the Savoda family. And when it was time for Corey to sell his house and buy his new house, there's only one place he went. That's Eric Easley and the Easley Real Estate Team. So go see these guys for all your real estate needs. We really appreciate you.
Great catcher, Travis Scott, but
T. Scott,
who breaks his wrist
right away. Yeah,
you went out. So I mean,
Kendrick was mostly your catcher, wasn't he?
Missing pieces. Yep, our starting shortstop went behind the plate.
That's
did
right.
fantastic back there.
He did.
A heck of an athlete.
Yeah.
I remember first time seeing him play short, like especially in practice, was like, hey,
wow,
holy crap, like this kid can play.
Yeah.
So and
absolutely,
then Blaine
great
stepped
hands.
in and did great.
Yeah.
Nick Sievers. Yep. So I mean, yeah, like I said, still haven't really got to play with someone like Travis Scott hitting because he could hit the ball a mile.
Absolutely talented.
Yeah. So I mean, came down to sophomore year especially, just get on base, he'll drive you in.
Yeah.
But no, as a freshman, like I said, I know I started the year out, and I try to tell my kid all the time. I started out not too well. It was like 128 after we got home from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And
you played a lot of third base, didn't you?
Yeah, batting 128 and was not happy. Riggle moved me in the lineup and called me in to make sure. I said, no, Coach, whatever you need me because I'm not doing my job. Yeah. But it was trying, but like I said, that was a great year, man. We wish we could have won it all.
For sure. After that year, you got to play you get drafted, but we'll get there. Tell me about your experience playing for the Rifles that summer.
A lot of fun, man. We had a lot of guys from all over a little bit. Squires was kind of running the show, and Weave also was there. Just played. I think I missed some of the season there when I went over to China. So
that's right.
Missed some of the season, but I mean it was a great time. Brad Sellinger.
Oh, right. Would that have been P.J. Finnegan and Sellinger? Was P.J. there?
Yeah, P.J. was there. Yeah, absolutely.
Pause then. We'll come back to Rifles. Tell me about that experience. You got to play for like a junior college all-star team or something?
So that was a great time.
What was it called officially?
It was Junior College USA team.
Okay, yeah.
So there was kids from New York, California, Florida.
Yeah.
Stacked. I mean, unbelievable stacked. But we go over there. Chinese got they're swinging wooden bats. We're swinging brand new stealths.
Yeah.
So I think we hit like 28 home runs as a team, and they hit one. And we were definitely not going to win the last game because umpire would not allow it. But,
Really?
Yeah. It was like we went like 8-1 while we were over there. But
Cool experience for you?
it was
getting
great,
out of the country
man.
and wow.
You can see the Great Wall.
Really?
Just totally different world, honestly. But definitely we all take stuff for granted here compared to what they have. I mean, it's a totally different place.
Okay. Awesome. What was the level of, moving back to the Rifles, what was that level of play you feel like compared to like pro ball?
I'd say, the Rifles are, basically the top players of junior colleges or even D1.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Pretty strong.
About the same, yeah.
All right. Tell me about, so you got drafted in the 13th round this year, really strong year. Tell me about getting drafted, leading up to it. Where were you at when it happened? All of it. I want to hear the whole experience. Don't be short.
So I believe we were still at Lincoln Land, just got done playing, or we're playing a doubleheader. So
okay.
I got a phone call saying they drafted me in the 13th round.
Was it from your scout, Brownie?
Yeah. It was actually Brownie, yes, Brownie and Billy Milos.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brownie ended up retiring the year after. So.
Okay.
Yep.
And leading up to it, were they telling you, hey, 5th round, 10th round, 20th round? Did you anything?
No, they didn't really tell around.
Really?
They just had called and basically said they were interested, and just honestly just wasn't really waiting for a phone call. We were still playing baseball.
Were you nervous waiting for this?
No, I wouldn't say nervous. Like I said, if they did or they didn't, we were just going to play baseball. So.
Or did any other teams talk to you?
Marlins had called.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who else called like freshman year, but Marlins wanted to know how many home runs I hit, so I didn't hit enough home runs to play for them.
Is that pitcher?
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Did you care? Did you have a preference of a team you wanted to go to, or
no preference.
Okay, so tell me about getting drafted. What does that feel like?
It's pretty surreal. Pretty exciting. That was the
realizing a dream.
Yeah, that's what you were shooting for after so long.
It's happening.
Yep, we were there.
So tell me about. So this is back in the day when there was a draft and follow. So for those of you who don't know, teams used to be able to draft you, and then you could go ahead and play. They would follow you. They wouldn't sign you, but they would follow you up until the next draft, and usually sign you right before it.
Yep.
Essentially. So tell me about what was that like? I always thought that would be a weird experience to be. I've been drafted. This team wants me, but I have to go play another year of collegiate baseball. What was that like for you?
Well, it all came down to money. Like I said, you're drafted. They're offering so much, which wasn't much the first year because they had 3 first-rounders.
Is that why it became a draft and follow?
Yeah.
Because of money?
Yeah. They didn't want to offer much at all. And realistically, we had unfinished business at Lincoln Land. I wanted to go back and try to get it.
Yeah. Okay. So, was that hard keeping your head in the game collegiately?
No.
Like
I said,
did you feel like I'm a pro pitcher now? Why am I still in college?
Absolutely not.
No.
Like I said, we're stepping on the same field as anyone else every day. Like I said, once we got out on the field, it was just compete, try to win for your team.
Tell me about so Eric Weaver was the pitching coach there. He had just stepped off, a few years removed from the big leagues. Tell me about the impact Eric Weaver had on your career.
A lot. Like I said, we had a lot of discussions. He was from right here with us out of
Illiopolis.
Yeah. So just having conversations with him, trying to prepare to try to get there. And, he as the Rifles, we were coming home from Danville, I believe. We stopped in at his parents' house to watch the videotape of him, his first big league appearance. So that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. I always loved Weave. He was a great storyteller.
Oh, great guy.
If you could get him talking his stories, they wouldn't be appropriate for this podcast because we keep it pretty PG, but man, Eric Weaver is an all-time storyteller. Like when he used to come to the back of the bus sometimes and tell his stories, I would just be hanging on every word.
Absolutely.
It was incredible. Tell me about how you worked out strength and conditioning wise, and would you do anything differently now if you could go back?
There's so much more at our fingertips now.
That's the damn truth.
But I had my dad obviously help work out, but then Mr. Shoemaker was a school teacher at Tri-City. junior high 7th grade basketball coach, and I mean, just a animal in the weight room for, older guy at the time. I mean, not that old, but 50s probably.
Yeah.
And, he would run stairs with us. He might have been late 40s, run stairs with us. So, I mean, he kind of instilled into us, too, that he wouldn't quit, and he'd make us run stairs for an hour.
Yeah.
And then go in the weight room with him. So, I mean, that helped. I had some guys growing up that watched in the weight room that I was like, man, I got to get as big, as strong as they are. So, I mean, but yeah, nowadays there's so much extra stuff to do. Like, there's so much, they've really figured out some things. So
yeah, a totally different world than when you and I came up in terms of like understanding the mechanics of the game, understanding how to train for it properly, nutrition, stretching, arm routine care, stuff like this was all stuff that was foreign to us, or we were doing our best to understand it, but not a lot of information out there. Sometimes I wish that like, we could start over 20 years after we had and see how that would roll out. Tell me about the signing process and then being sent to pro ball when it actually did happen.
Well, I mean, they drafted and then called me before the second-year draft and basically offered a amount and met up with them. They have a bunch of paperwork and basically sign it, and they tell you when you're going to report. I mean, that's really the end. I mean, that's not much to it.
Was there any thought at all of going and playing somewhere else, like collegiately? Did you talk to any other colleges or anything like that?
I had verbally committed to University of New Orleans.
That's right.
Which was actually good, I guess. I didn't go there because that's when the hurricane hit them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were going to go to. Was there any was that really?
That was really about it.
Was that an actual viable option for you? Were you considering that, or were you think I'm pro ball all the way?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we discussed going there and just see how anything else works. I mean, obviously, I wanted to go play baseball.
Right. Did you go on a visit or anything?
When we were down there playing.
Oh, right. That's right.
Went and met with their coach.
I do remember that. Well, then tell me about your first experience in pro ball and how big of a jump talent-wise that was. Just, I'd love to hear about it.
So, yeah, being in the GCL Twins,
right.
I mean, the biggest
Where's
jump
that at?
Is in Fort Myers, Florida.
Fort Myers, okay.
So the biggest jump is really, I mean, at Lincoln Land, I mean, you have 5 to 6 really good at bats in the lineup.
Yeah.
When you go down there, you're going to have 9.
Oh, yeah.
Top of the guys.
Right.
Went down there and had Paul Kelly, I believe is his name, shortstop, 18 years old, out of Texas, just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's throwing the ball across the diamond at 86, 87 mile an hour. I think he made 130 plays that year with 2 errors.
Wow.
I mean, you got down there and was like, oh, this is different. Like, just
These guys are really
just
good.
a different atmosphere, and then got to play with some good guys. I mean, definitely competition's up, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's astronomical at the lower level compared to like coming out of Lincoln Land against the best guys, but it's definitely, I mean, everybody there is top 5, 6,
How do you feel like you pitched?
Struggled. Was a little tired the first year, and then
you feel like your arm was tired?
Yeah, it came in right at the end, and then the year was over. But and then second year just had elbow pain.
Mm-hmm.
Knee was bothering me because I broke my kneecap. Played on it for 11 months. So it was not pitched like I didn't pitch like I wanted at all.
Sure. What was your living experience while you were in pro ball? Were you with guys
in Fort Myers? I mean, we stayed in the hotel there.
Yeah.
Went to Elizabeth in Tennessee. We had a little apartment with stayed with 2 Australians, which was a blast.
Yeah. Anything interesting about them?
No, they worked hard, man. They were very, very good people. Super nice.
Yeah. So after your first year of pro ball, you get back. What are you doing in terms of like, all right, I need to get ready for my next year of pro ball? What are you doing workout-wise? Are you working a job? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I was working with my dad and then going to Lincoln Land just about every day still to work out with throw with Travis Scott was still there, so I was throwing with him and working out there, just trying to get ready to go back down there.
Was there anything glaring to you, like, I need to get better at this for my second
I just needed to throw more strikes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just had a hard time with that.
Yep.
Okay. So tell me about, this would be your second, and then your last year in pro ball here. Did you get sent to rookie ball right away, or were you I guess it's both rookie ball. Were you GCL, or were you
Well, we went to spring training and then went to Elizabeth after spring training and then got sent back after I got hurt.
How was your spring training experience?
Good. I mean, I was holding my own really well there for a while and then woke up when I couldn't straighten my arm out. So
that was when the elbow problems were happening?
Yeah, that was about 2 weeks prior to them sending me to Elizabethton.
Yeah. So what was going on with that?
They claimed bone spurs. So
what do you mean they claimed?
I've never got it fixed. So.
Really?
Yeah, don't know.
Never?
No, they released me 2 days before surgery.
Really?
Yeah.
So just, you said it blew up or swollen or just you couldn't straighten it out?
It was just locking up, and then I was losing feeling in my ring finger and pinky.
Really?
Yeah.
Was your velo down?
Yeah, it was dropping tremendously, like topping out at 87.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That
couldn't feel my hand. That was neat.
What's that like for you to feel like, you have this
end of the world,
right? Yeah, you have this like superpower. You throw in like mid-90s, all of a sudden you're
that was not
upper
good.
80s, and you can't do what you want to do. Are you telling them like I'm having arm problems or?
Yeah, I mean I went to them the day of it, and we did some rehab, and then I threw maybe a couple innings, and they sent me to Elizabethton, and I threw a few innings there and got sent back. I mean, it was not a good second year.
And then, so tell me about you being released, and then what did that feel like?
Well, I mean, it was not a good feeling, but I just...
How'd they do it?
Called me.
Called you?
Yep.
You didn't get called in the office or anything?
Nope. Called me at home.
Said you're done?
Yep. November 12th.
Really?
Yep.
So what is Walt Patton thinking in this? I mean, you're 21 years old.
Time to get a job.
You're 21 years old. I remember being so confused when it happened. Obviously, I knew you were having arm problems because we were talking, and just that, like, I am still playing collegiate baseball, and Walt Patton is done with baseball entirely.
Yep.
Wild. So was there any thought, just heartbroken getting that call?
Absolutely.
Tears?
Oh, yeah. It was a bad day, but like I said, I just had to look myself in the mirror and grow up, I guess, per se.
Why was there no thoughts of, let's go get this fixed and keep playing?
Money.
Really?
Yeah.
Just didn't have it?
Didn't want to put it on nobody else. So.
Really?
Yep.
Man, and never got it fixed?
Nope.
What does it feel like now?
Not good unless I throw 100%.
Yeah, so you can throw BP, you're okay?
Yep.
So there was no thought of, like, I want to try to make a comeback? Or?
Well, I mean, I wanted to. I just didn't want to put that strain on my parents to pay any doctor's stuff. So it was pretty much just decided I had to move on and get a job and move on.
How heavy was that?
It was pretty heavy.
Yeah, I mean, you work for something your whole life, and it's like over in a blink of an eye.
Yep. But that's kind of how it goes, unfortunately.
Life is unfair
with
sometimes,
with everybody. I mean,
that's the damn truth. Did you feel bitter about it?
No, I mean it sucked, but it was I got 2 years playing somewhere that most people won't ever see.
You're right. It's so easy to like look at your career and be like, man, I could have done so much more. But there are so many people out there that would kill for your career.
Yep,
to have gotten a taste of it, to have to have been an All-American, to have thrown mid-90s, to have been drafted, to play a couple years of Pro Ball. Like, some people would have killed for that experience.
Yep.
But, you always want more. You're like, I would have.
Oh, absolutely.
I wanted a little more. Okay. So you feel like you've made your peace with it?
Yeah. Like I said, I get to live through my kids now and enjoy every minute they have, whether it's soccer, basketball, baseball. I mean, just seeing them compete.
How often are they asking you about your own stuff?
Not too much. I mean, Wyatt asks here and there, but it's like I said, it's all about them now.
Yeah, well, cool. Well, they'll always have this if they want to go back and listen to some stuff about their dad, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to do this. I thought it was so cool to have this, like, audio, history of what your career was.
Yeah.
And it's a special career. All right, moving on. Who are the top 3 greatest pitchers of all time, in your opinion?
Mariano Rivera.
Ooh, interesting choice.
Yep. Clemens. So many. But I would say fun to watch would be Pedro Martinez.
Oh, God, Pedro.
Nasty.
He had about a 5-year.
Then you got Maddox.
Yeah, God. So
you can just keep going.
Pedro might be my favorite to watch. When he was, like, at his prime, remember, like, there was an all-star game when he struck out, like, 6 guys in a row, and he was throwing, like, 98, and everything was
Filthy.
just like, shoo, 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 like the change, the curve, the slider, the two-seamer, just an absolute master on the mound.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. If you could have any pitcher's fastball, curveball, slider, change, split, who would they be? Do you remember anyone that, like, I want to take that, or I would like,
Well, I mean, you got Aroldis Chapman because we faced him. Throws hard.
Yeah.
Weaver splitter, because that's the only one I've seen in
Ooh,
person.
cool.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Rivera with his cutter.
Isn't that crazy that he was able to?
Yep.
His whole that's all he threw.
Change up, you want Pedro.
Yeah, that Bugs Bunny.
And curveball might be Kerry Woods.
Ooh, I like that a lot. You were just essentially a two-pitch pitcher, weren't you?
Had a change up. It wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Definitely trying to work on Wyatt to have that.
Would you go two-seam, four-seam, or were you all four?
Both.
Yeah.
Two-seam, four-seam.
When were you using either?
Two-seam if I was trying to run it away, or four-seam if I wanted to try to
You would run it
power
away
up.
to a what? To a righty?
Yeah.
It would like slide a little bit?
Yep.
And what action do you feel like your four-seam had?
Straight.
I disagree, man. I thought it would pop a little bit
hard.
sometimes.
It'd go up a little bit.
Yeah, up a little
Straight and
bit.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the highest you ever got clocked at?
94.
94? That's what I thought.
Yep.
Okay, cool. What does that feel like to throw 94? That's a stupid
Just
question.
try to throw hard.
Cool.
Man.
Yeah.
Just try to throw hard.
Yeah. All right. Number of choice.
6.
Why?
No idea.
It just
To
happened?
be honest, yeah.
It's one of those things?
No idea.
You just kept it?
Yep.
Walk-up music.
Oh, the Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
That was your song?
Yep.
Did you get music in Pro Ball?
No, we didn't have it.
Didn't have it?
No.
Okay. Why Crazy Train?
Just liked it. I don't know why. The very beginning. Just the start of the song.
Right.
'Cause that's all you really got to listen to.
Okay. And I already asked this, but what pitches did you throw? And we just talked about that. So, cool. This is an interesting question. Were you deep enough into your career to feel like you were developing a feel for the art of pitching, or do you feel like you were just relying on stuff?
Well, I mean, I knew what I needed to do. My arm wasn't allowing it at the end, but I mean, definitely every day is a learning curve. I mean, and baseballs and pro ball are not the same as we use here.
Yeah.
A lot shorter seam.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So the run you see is the seams. No,
right. Right.
I was fighting the fact that two seams would run a lot harder than they did here.
Yeah.
So changeup moved a lot more in pro ball with the So I mean, it was good. Like I said, I think wish I would have been healthy.
Yeah.
But
do you feel like anyone was in your corner in the Twins organization, or they were just like, this is just another guy?
Yeah, I mean,
or you tell me.
It's just numbers game, man.
Right.
Like to say, I think there was 28 of us down there the first year as pitchers. Yeah. So,
right.
And like I said, my pitching coach down there actually played with Eric Weaver in the Pro Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Small world, right?
Yeah, very small.
That's cool. And what percentage of effort do you feel like you were throwing in games?
Well, definitely starting the game, I'd be throwing closer to 100%, and then kind of settle in, and then try to make sure I got 100% at the end.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel like when you would just be sitting like low 90s? What do you feel like you were? I mean, percentage? Were you throwing 80%?
Somewhere
90?
around 80 to 90.
Okay,
yeah.
And then when you needed to reach back for it, you could
try to get the extra. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Would you try to beat guys with heat up high?
Yeah, depends. It all depends on who was hitting. See how they're, how they're standing, where they're standing.
That would all be taken into consideration.
Yeah, trying to see what they're doing.
Okay, so if a guy's up on the plate and you feel like he's got a quick bat, what's
you got to come in real high and tight.
Bust him in right away.
Come in high and tight and get him off the plate.
Yeah,
it's our plate.
And you weren't afraid to do that.
No.
Any guys you played with, we'll say high school Lincoln Land Rifles, that did not play pro ball that you think could have had a chance?
Well, I mean, you definitely could have played.
I did. I played any ball.
There you go.
Well, thank
Blaine,
you.
Blaine could have played.
I totally agree. I want to say
Blaine could have played. Like I said, I told him the first year I was down there, he could have been playing with us.
It always meant a lot to me that you told me that I belonged in there too.
Yeah,
that
you guys would have been fine. Yeah. Fast, strong. I mean, it's just a different world. I mean, you got, like I said, almost you got to say you got to know someone. I got lucky enough that Browning came to our game and took the interest. Because I mean, really, we didn't see a whole lot around here. I'm
glad you said Blaine too, because I want to sit on Blaine again.
Yep, Blaine.
I'm a big Blaine Cravens fan. This guy was a stud.
He could play,
and he did get overshadowed a lot because he was with you so much. But like, really competent shortstop. Maybe not a pro level shortstop, but maybe could have played third. Mm-hmm. Had a great stick. Was a great pitcher too. Like ended up going to St. Joe's and shoving.
Yep, he could
You don't
pitch.
get pitcher of the year in the GLVC if you're not good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I always thought he could have, at the very least, played indie ball, but probably could have cut it in pro ball affiliated as well.
I believe so.
Shout out to Blaine Cravens. We got your back here.
Absolutely.
Right? Local guys, who'd you love competing against coming up?
Well, I mean, we were young, but Blaine and I at Tri-City, we had to play against Dusty Bensko when he was at Plains.
Oh, yeah.
Eric Gum from Porta.
Yeah.
Threw hard.
Stud.
I mean, really, those were your top guys to
absolutely.
me around here because we didn't play you guys in Springfield much.
Right.
Like I said, obviously Kendrick and them our junior year, but wouldn't have really known them if we wouldn't have made it there.
Sure.
But, definitely Bensko was, as a freshman,
What a
you're just
stud.
looking up at him like,
Unreal.
wow, who's this guy?
Right.
Yeah.
Unreal.
We got a big leaguer playing in high school.
Yeah. It'll always confuse me to no end that he didn't get drafted out of high school and didn't get more of a shot in pro ball than he got.
Yeah, his year with us with the Twins, I think he went 2 for 3 the day with a home run and a double and got cut.
Were you guys on the same team?
Yeah.
Really?
Played with the Twins that second year.
I knew he was there. I didn't realize you were there at the same time.
Yep, we were down there in spring training together.
He had some nice stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I'll never understand it as well, man. Baseball is a crazy sport of timing, and there's so many little things that go into making it, right?
Yeah.
There's so many things have to go right.
Absolutely.
You know?
You can't get hurt for sure.
That's the deal.
Because, like I said, you got
about
guys
that.
waiting ready.
I know all about that. Yeah, it's next guy up.
Yep.
Right? Did you look up to anyone coming up, like locally or like a Dusty Bensko?
Like I said, that would have been our freshman year. Watching him play was pretty impressive.
Tell me about, did you have a funniest teammate at Lincoln Land you thought was hilarious, sir?
Probably you.
Me?
Would have probably been the biggest goofball we had, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
I'd say that was probably you. I'd say that would be you.
I was
sitting in math class. We'll leave the rest out.
Oh, boy.
Drawing eyeballs.
Oh, boy. Worst conditioning at Lincoln Land and why?
Running to the zoo and running to the church because I hate long distance.
Me too, buddy.
Hated it.
We really were like a track team.
Tree lines were nothing, but
yeah, tree lines
I hated
were a breeze.
I hated long distance. Always have.
Bull was not playing when it came to that conditioning.
It was good for us.
It was good for us. It makes you tough. Are there any funny Lincoln Land stories that you want to share that you remember?
Don't remember any. Really?
Nothing?
No.
It's a long time ago now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Isn't it crazy? I think that's like 20 years ago.
20 years, yeah.
Nuts.
It's been 20 years.
What was your best year in baseball, most fun year for you?
Well, like I said, our 8th grade year going 20-1 was awesome, but every year is great. But Lincoln Land, we had, like I said, we had a stacked team, man. We had a great year, couple years.
Yeah.
So that right there is standout in its own, just playing great baseball.
There you go. Least fun year in baseball.
The year I got cut.
Yeah, I think it's everyone's, right? This is interesting. So obviously you're deep in the travel ball circuit. You're raising these young studs. We were obviously taught a lot of things growing up hitting wise that today probably wouldn't be taught anymore. Do you have any thoughts on how the swing is taught today versus our time? You want to speak on that?
Well, everyone's trying to hit home runs now.
Mm-hmm.
Lifting. We weren't taught to lift the ball.
No, not at all.
Weren't taught to strike out, which I know they're not being taught to strike out, but definitely swinging a lot more free than we did.
Right. Yeah, it was almost like shameful to strike out.
Yeah,
right? You just like get it in play, like that was better than striking out.
If you can run though, that's
true.
You're putting pressure on them. They're not going to make a play every time.
Right.
Strike out, you're out.
Right.
So we were taught from day one not to pop up and don't strike out. Try to put it in play. Now, I try to teach it. There's times to go ahead and swing, and there's times you still have to put it in play. Yeah. Don't give yourself up for the team if you have to, but if nobody's on one out, you're trying to hit it hard somewhere.
Right. Are you at all looking at like all these hitting coaches and stuff like that? There's
a
ton of like crazy mechanics and vernacular.
It's all
and
changed compared
drills.
to us.
It's so different.
Balls are flying a lot farther too.
Yeah.
Than when we were playing.
Is White getting it in the air? Is that his goal?
I prefer him to hit it on just hit line drives, but he hits the ball pretty well.
I will say this:
he can run.
I wish I had challenged more. I always ask the hitting question to guys on here, and a lot of times I get pushback saying, big league guys because they're so strong and big, they can hit it in the air. But there have been so many studies done that prove that getting the ball in the air is going to be advantageous for any player, whether it's the most slappiest Casey Spears hitter. You know, just I'm not saying fly out, but getting the ball in the air to the outfield, I truly believe it in my heart should be the objective, and it makes your batting average go up, your on base percentage, you have more, you can do more on the bases. It's just people get confused and they think that you're just trying to hit the ball in the air like a home run, but getting the ball in the air is advantageous for sure. My thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any baseball dreams, like dreaming about baseball?
No, not really.
No. Okay. Pimping home runs, yay or nay?
Nay.
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 Why not allowed?
Act like you've been there.
Yeah. Okay. Thoughts on the Savannah Bananas?
It's fun to watch. I mean, it's pretty neat to watch, but I'd still rather watch regular baseball.
Me too. Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Absolutely. We're old.
Have we lost it?
I'd say we have.
I always ask that one. Any major life lessons that you feel like baseball taught you that just like really stand out?
Just work hard if you want something. I mean, hard work will always bring you something. So, like I said, from the day one, my dad instilling in us as kids that if you work hard, you'll get there. So
yeah, love that. Looking back, what are you most proud of from your career?
I mean, I just knowing that I gave it everything I had. That's really all.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I tried.
Love that. Yeah, you don't have any what ifs or big ones like that.
Nope.
I love that. What do you miss most about playing?
Competition.
Yeah, competition.
I mean, like I said, we could sit here and flip a quarter, and I still want to win. So it's all competition. Like I told, like I said, the big games, missing that adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Which turns everybody's like, they're nervous. Well, you should be. No, you shouldn't be nervous. You'll have butterflies because it's a big game.
Yeah.
The only way you can actually get nervous is not being prepared.
I love that. Love that. If you could go back and do it all over again, starting at 18, with the knowledge that you have now, as a player, what would you have done differently?
I don't know. I would have.
Really?
No, like I said, maybe worked on pitching more, stayed in the weight room longer, that type of stuff. But other than that, I don't really have any regrets or anything. Just
no
play
regrets?
hard, dude.
All right. Well, Walt, we're at the end of our questions here. How's this been for you? Not too bad?
Good.
I know you were a little hesitant. I was trying to talk you into this probably a year or two ago, and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to talk about this, but it's been great.
Yep, been good, man.
Yeah.
Good catching up with you.
Yeah, it's been great. I hope we can continue to stay in touch here.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite all-time teammates, one of the best athletes I've ever seen in any facet of sports. I loved hearing, going back and hearing your thoughts on high school, on Lincoln Land, on pro ball, just little intricacies of the game. I really appreciate your time. Before we go, is there anything that you want to leave, or anyone you feel like you left out, want to thank, or anything like that along the way? I think you've done a tremendous job.
Well, I mean, thanks to all the coaches I've had. Like I said, starting with my dad, then going to Jim Cravens. He helped me all throughout the years.
Yeah.
Rodney Rupel, and then obviously Brad Sturdy was a huge help through high school and stuff, because I mean he was really big time competitor as a coach. He pushed us every day to succeed, and he's won at everything he's ever coached. So I mean, we got second in basketball with him in 8th grade. We were short a little bit in baseball, but I mean he moved over and did softball.
Yeah.
Won a state tournament, I believe, softball with his daughter. I mean, just a fantastic coach and great person.
Oh, I love that. Last thing, I always make sure I touch on this. The wife, the other half of the team, I got to meet, Faith when you guys first met back in the day, kind of started dating, and got to go to your wedding. I always thought she was really, really special lady, really cool. She's been in the military now for 20-something years.
22 years.
Tell me a little bit about Faith and what you guys got going on, and then we'll get out of here. How awesome she is. Let's give her some flowers.
Just a great wife, man. Great mother to the kids, and takes care of a lot, puts up with a lot of crap.
Yeah, and I know she just not that long ago had to.
She was deployed for about 7 months.
Yeah, that's tough, right?
Yeah, it was
running around these kids.
It's a lot tough. It was probably tougher on her to be away than
Makes
it was
you appreciate
for us.
all that she does for the family and for you?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I got nothing else, man. So I really appreciate your time. This has been special for me. a former teammate of mine, a friend of mine. Couldn't be more impressed with you. I kind of wanted to hear how you went back and saw all this, and a baseball life. You are passing it on down to your sons now, and passing on that knowledge to the Shamrock organization. So look out for these guys. Look out for Wyatt. Look out for Owen. Walt Patton, we really appreciate you. Post game spread. We're out of here.
Thanks, Blake.
All right, buddy.